Got it. Flex plate's probably destroyed. Yeah. That sucks. I thought I had them all out. There was one more hiding in there. All right. Well, that's that. We'll pull this kind of bell housing thing off. I got to get the starter off. We'll get it on the stand. All right, we're not quite to the exciting part yet, actually getting into the engine, but I got the torque converter off. Now, I messed this up. This model has, they call it a flex plate on here. See, I bent that all to hell. So if you're doing this, take that little cover, where is it? This little thing. Take this off the front, and then you can just grab that flywheel and turn it by hand and get all those bolts out. There's 5 of them, not 4. I thought there was only 4, but there's 5 of them. I turned it, and there's a few extra holes. In fact, looks like there's more. See that? I got a broken bolt there. So yeah, there's actually 6. So that confused me. I got back to that one and thought that I was done. I thought that was the original one. There was one more. It was this one passed. So whoops. If I had realized that, and I should have, because I have a manual that told me, but if I had realized that flex plate was on there, should have done all those bolts first and then take the bolts out of the outside. So what ended up happening was I had one bolt left in there, and that part fell out, and it's really heavy. I couldn't hardly, and it wants to turn, so I couldn't get it back up in there to get that last bolt out, and ended up kind of jacking that flex plate up. So Hopefully not a huge deal. I should be able to find those, find a new one. Ran into another problem on this kind of bell housing type thing. Big old chunk of the casting is broke off. So we'll have to see what I'm going to do about that to fix it. I'll probably try repairing it at least once, and that's enough of it broken out of there. I don't really feel comfortable putting it back together. There was a piece already missing that's been gone for a while. But yeah, we'll either fix it or replace it. And then kind of weird, but this is cast iron. This whole big thing there. I thought that was a big mud dauber, but it's not. That's actually part of the casting. That's all metal. So kind of weird, but yeah. So take that flex plate off first, and I'm gonna print off the manual that I'm working out of, at least the relevant parts, and I'll show you in there. But it has a serial number. It says in the manual that serial number's 304. I don't remember. I'll show you though. But and later. So that serial number and later. So I read that wrong. I thought that meant that serial number and after had the flex plate, but it's the other way around. It's that serial number and before. And this serial number is before. So the other thing that I just realized, and I don't know how I didn't realize this, but I've been calling this a case 188. It is in fact not. This is a case 207D. See that? And then that's your serial number there for the engine. Not much difference between the two. The same manual covers both engines, so not a big deal there. But just for clarity, this is actually a 207D, not a 188D, like I've been calling it. So I don't know if I've said that on video or not, but yeah. So I got to get some longer bolts to get this in the actual stand here. I don't have anything that'll fit, so there's 2 studs on top, so I'll get some bolts that I can just thread into there, and then these are through holes down here on the bottom, so I'll get bolts that'll stab through there. So 4 nice long ones, and then yeah, then we'll get it on the stand and finish building out the containment. That's what I was hoping to get done today, was get it more or less in my little containment room here, so that I can start tearing it down, because I'm really anxious to see what them bearings look like and see how bad they are. But it's going to wait just another day or so. So, all right, we'll see you when I get those longer bolts. We'll get it mounted up on the stand, and we'll build a clean room around it. Alrighty, guys, I've got the exhaust manifold pulled off. It's pretty straightforward. Just take these bolts off. It comes right off. Gasket in there we'll be replacing. Intake manifold on the other side is off, and I've got the valve cover here ready to come off. So let's see what it looks like in there. That's not good. That's a surprising amount of okay, it's not. I thought it was rust. It's not rust, but that's not good. The oil that's left on here is very, very dirty. But we'll have to check these rods and stuff to see what they actually, if they're actually straight. We'll be pulling all this apart at some point. But that's a big chunk of something. That's not great. Yeah, it's sparkly. I don't know, it's not coming through very well on camera, but there's bearing material all the way up here, it looks like. So that's not good. Man, there's just a lot of gum and junk in there. You see that? Not what you want to see. So some of that may be bearing material, but I think a lot of it's just gum and soot and just kind of nasty. well, there it is. So I've got to get my little containment thing built around here. That's going to be the next big thing to work on and get that done. Tomorrow, actually, just got home from work and want to pull that head off and see what it looked like in there. It's pretty ugly. It's pretty nasty. I mean, that oil is filthy and there's all kinds of grit and crap in here. So if you look at like that bolt, see all this stuff? That's, I mean, that's chunks of, feels like sand. I don't think that's bearing material actually all the way up here, but it's got a bunch of gritty, nasty stuff in it. I'll show you this one. Look at that. See all that? Not what we want to see. So this engine, even before I screwed up and ran it out of oil, it was it smoked a lot. There was smoke in the coming out of the crankcase thing for as long as I've owned it. So it's had trouble for as long as I've owned it, and I've known I was going to have to do something with it at some point, just a little bit earlier than I had anticipated, since I ran it low on oil. But pretty nasty. I don't smell any fuel in the oil up here. That's good, and I don't think I see any signs of water. Okay, yeah, now that kind of metallic looking, that's fine bearing material, I think, is what we're looking at there. So not good. All right, well, I'm gonna put that cover just back on, just sitting on here for tonight, I think. But we'll be back, finish up building a containment around here. The tent that I bought's not going to work. It's laying over there. Turns out it didn't come with tent poles. It's designed to be stretched between trees, and there's no trees in here, so that's not going to work. But I've got the manual, pertinent parts of it printed out, and I think, if I remember right, this comes off next. I actually pulled the valve cover a little bit early just because I wanted to see what it looked like. But I will pull the timing cover off. This will come off, and we'll be ready to pull the heads and then flip it over, pull the oil pan. Actually, what I'll do is I'll pull the oil pan while it's sitting like this. That way, whatever crap is settled down in the bottom, I'm expecting to find a lot of chunks in there, a lot of solids. And so we'll go ahead and pull that off down there. That way I don't dump it back into the engine. Not that it matters. I'm going to clean it all up real good anyway. But I will pull that off, and then we can flip it over, pull the bearings off, and we'll be on our way. So yeah, tent time. So I'm going to use that little shelter there. We'll have to wrap tarps around it. So I think I'll go ahead and set that shelter up, actually. Set up for the time. Cool. So that's the plan. Then I'll get more tarps to line all the walls. We'll leave kind of a walkway through one of them. Then I'm going to tape seal to the floor, to themselves, to the roof here. We've got a cool little halo, some super bright LEDs in here so that it's nice and bright. And we'll put the silver side, the shiny side in on these tarps to help reflect light. This would be a sweet spot to rebuild this engine. So, all right, see you tomorrow with some tarps. I don't have them yet. But there you have it, all sealed up, ready to go. So this side's all taped up. Now, I'd intended to seal the seal tape the floor all the way around it. But that duct tape that I bought, it's a real cheap duct tape, and it's not working very good. It's not very sticky. So I've got some just kind of some heavy stuff, some metal and whatnot that I've set on the floor there just to hold that down. And then that tape doesn't stick to this blue stuff at all. So I've just got it tucked up in there, and I'm not too worried about it. So, sneak in here. And then you can see what we got going on. There's a fan all over, and it's all taped on there. And there's, you saw from the other side, there's filters in front of that. So the air that's coming in coming in here through that fan is actually got MERV 13 filter on it. Best one I can get in the store. So yeah, that's it. Nice little tent shack in a hay barn dozer engine repair facility. So alrighty, next video is going to be a longer video. It's going to be tearing into this. Well, it may not be longer. I think this is a long video as it is, but it's going to be step by step per the case manual, breaking this sucker down. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.